Welcome to Living the Authentic Life. Today I have my dear friend and one of the stylists that inspires me most, Kendra Smith. Crowd goes wild. And it's the first time we are filming from the back office cozy couch. We were going to call this the champagne room, but then heard that maybe that wasn't a good name.
Or the tequila room.
We could, because it's margarita time.
It is always it's always margarita time. In my life, it's always margarita time.
Exactly. Yeah. And even though it's Thursday, we're going to let you say, welcome to
Wacky Watch Wednesday. I've always wanted to do it. I love it.
Okay, so I have been dipping my toe into the styling pool.
Okay.
And I feel like I travel the world, I see styles, I see things I love, but I'm such an accessories girl that when I started looking at styling women, I realized how hard it was for a different body type and a different size and a different age and different colors that look good on them. And I was like, oh my, I am great in the accessories and I can pick out things that I like, but like it's hard to style everyone in something that's good for them
to be comfortable too, right? Like you could put an outfit together from their closet that you would think that they would love, but if they're uncomfortable, it just kills it. Even if it looks great and they, you know, if it's beautiful, and I still have to feel confident.
Good about it. And I love that when we would put things together and you just see my face and you're like, you're not feeling it, right? And I'm like, but do you love it? I'm like, you said, I love it, but you've got to love it. And I really, I feel like and then I started thinking, okay, I feel like I do that with bags. Like somebody comes in, I want to find out, okay, what are you looking for? What places do you want to wear it? And I feel like that's a great way you start is where are you going and what are the most important outfits for us to put together. But then you also just style women for like a trip, like everything from workout to day to evening
to events to travel to work. I mean, all of it. Yes. And it depends, like, right? Like I have girls that are probably early 30s is where it starts. And then the cap is probably 60s. So, you know, there's that fine line of like some, you know, in lifestyle, right? Like kind of the younger girls are more, you know, like going out, not like out, but you know, they kind of want to show a little skin and
that all the cropped and the belly and the cutouts.
So cutouts. It's like, either that or the puff sleeve and everything's oversized. So it's like kind of finding the fine line in between and balancing it is kind of key. And I do really have to like work individually with, you know, I don't go to the same stores or shop online on the same sites for each client, right? I mean, as you would guess, like, because, you know, everyone's different and has different, you know, day-to-day wear, right?
But you do kind of stretch me out of my comfort zone. I remember one of the things that I loved most that you did for New York Fashion Week was you put white pumps and a white belt with a dark gray kind of wool jacket in the tulle skirt. And then you put the white shirt underneath. And I loved it. And I never would have thought first of putting a white blouse underneath a jacket. Because for me, I'm so short, I'm afraid that it's too much going on.
You were afraid,
but kind of talk through that. Like, what made you think of that?
So, like, for me, especially New York, like, layers. Like, I feel like layers. And I feel like that's probably what we love the most when we go to Europe and New York and we see, you know, girls street style and we're like, oh my gosh, like how, and I feel like it's just how they're layered and it's just like key pieces kind of all thrown together. And I feel like it's interesting, right? Like it kind of makes it fun and, you know, it's eye-catching, and I love a white top. Like I could live in, you know, an Oxford or white t-shirt every day of my life. Like I own probably like, I can't even tell you how many because I wear them so frequently. And it's just a good staple, right? Like you wear it, you can dress it up, dress it down. You're an accessory girl, a white t-shirt, and you can like throw in the jewelry, the bag, shoes, and boom, denim, leather with it. So blazer.
And then what, so if you're going on a trip, let's talk about trips first.
Okay.
I start with the shoes.
Okay.
Because I feel like I can only pack so many.
Yeah.
And if I'm in Houston, I'm going to have a different shoe
Absolutely.
in the day and at night, and then the next day, the next night.
Yeah.
Because I want to mix it up. And I also feel like it helps your feet. But when you're traveling, you can't necessarily take so much.
You can't bring them all.
Yeah. So tell me about that.
So I do kind of agree with that. I'm big on the shoes. And for me, if I'm styling for someone, I'm kind of a practical packer. Like some women, you know who you are, like will take like 5-6 bags. They don't care. Their husbands don't care. They're checking. It's fine. For me, I'm pretty practical. I think the more I have is kind of overwhelming. So I'm like, if you're only going to wear the shoe with one outfit one evening, it doesn't make sense. Like, let's try and,
push that through.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm kind of like, let's do 3 or 4, definitely flat day sneaker, a boot, depending on where and temperature and where you're going, right? I mean, I don't know where are we going on this trip?
Okay, let's do both.
Okay.
Let's do ski, and second, let's do beach. Because I feel like a lot of people are looking at that, like coming up in their travels.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a ski vacation. Okay. That's super hard because you have to check.
Yes, have to. I mean, a jacket is as big as a carry-on, right?
So do you bring a ski jacket and a fashion jacket?
I do, yes. And I it's kind of funny. I roll my ski jacket and I'll either put it in like one of those vacuum Ziploc bags, or I will rubber band it to where it's like small and I can roll it and kind of tuck it, which is kind of smart because it takes, less space, but definitely. And I always wear the heaviest and biggest its on the flight. Like
so
your
important.
Biggest boot,
your tallest, biggest boot,
biggest jacket, and all of it. Like layers.
I know. And I try to put like the bag inside the bag inside the bag.
Sure. Yeah.
To carry on.
Oh, and I put all like my, stuff inside the boots, or, socks inside my sneakers. But so if you're going on a ski vacation or somewhere cold, I'm all about like a combat boot, like day, even at night, like I think with leather or like a little mini dress and like a tight is so cute, and an oversized
So will you
coat.
wear dresses in New York and in Aspen?
Would, or like a maxi, like I love like a slip skirt is super cute with like a combat boot and a sweater. I think that's so cute and that's easy. And you can rewear the sweater, right? I mean, the jeans, dress it up, down. But I definitely
So do you do more separates than dresses?
I would do more separates. I do like a slip dress though. Like I feel like anywhere I go, I always take a good classic slip dress because you can kind of dress it down.
And do you do Grace Kelly?
Even a turtleneck, like under the. Normally it's me. Grace
I know
Kelly
that she's
me
growling at. I know.
She wants more margarita.
But like this fabulous sweater that you have on, that's great under a slip dress.
Exactly.
And I've been thinking about that, but I haven't done it yet. But you showed me that.
Yes.
And you had me you suggested I buy the Wofford thin, like sheer, and I feel like that's another great one to wear underneath. Are there other brands
and even
that you
under
like
a sweater,
that are basics?
I think is cute.
Commando?
I do love Commando's great. Alex NYC is great.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Wardrobe NYC makes wonderful ones. There's so many. The Row.
But the Row's a little bit more expensive.
I
guess
Wofford is. Yeah, Wofford's pretty. But I feel like that's a good. It's
a good staple.
Yes, and you'll have for.
And do you hand wash all those, or you dry cleaner?
Dry clean, which I despise the dry cleaners. Like I always tell the clients I work with, do not dry clean unless you absolutely have to. And
there's makeup on it and stains
because it wears your clothing. It really just kind of ages it. And so for me, if I can spot treat something, I'm all about it.
And what do you use? The Tide stick?
So no, I just kind of, because I feel like it leaves a ring.
I do
leaves
too.
a ring. It makes it worse.
Yes.
Sorry, Tide.
I know. Yeah. So is there something else?
So
or you
I just
literally use
do
like a mild soap?
Yeah, a little like soap and like dab and just kind of lightly.
Soda? No.
It works at restaurants.
At restaurants. That's what I tend to do.
Yep.
Okay, so Colorado, are you a stocking cap or a cowboy hat?
Both.
Oh, both. Okay.
Yes.
And now the cowboy hat.
I just got back from Aspen. I wore both. Wore a cute little beanie, like love. Also, I mean, the hat.
Did you bring? How many scarves did you bring? Were you big on?
I didn't bring a lot of scarves.
Okay,
no.
Interesting.
I know. That's where I need you for, Miss Accessories. I know. I feel like I don't. I used to. I need to, but it actually wasn't that cold this last time. So.
Oh, that's
but
right.
all about, I mean, like New York walking, I mean, you're going to want a scarf.
So
cold. It's cold. Yeah.
And gloves.
Yeah. Gloves for sure. Always gloves.
And now gloves are in with fashion.
Yeah.
Like, I love that Valentino, the pink, of course.
I know.
But so many of the, like the elegant gowns that you're seeing, would you wear gloves at night? Or
I would.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I feel like that would make an entire look. You wore them in New York. Didn't you wear
them?
I
did. Yes. And I bought a pair of white Dior corset gloves that I'm planning to wear in New York in January.
Those need to make a statement.
Yes, exactly. And the other thing that I like about hats, and I've seen it with people doing, is adding their brooches to their hats.
Yes.
I think that's another great way to kind of customize the look.
Yeah, I did that with Trisha, and she had a luncheon, and we put a cute little brooch, or maybe I think it was like a barrette that she had, and I kind of put it on the little ribbon on the side, and it was super cute. And it kind of like dressed it up for daytime, so that. And
I love what you did with the scarf in my hair.
Yeah. Oh, that I loved so much, and I'm so happy you did it.
It
scares people. That's
does.
scary.
So it was like the 1970s where you put it on here and then you tie it in the back. We'll have to post that on stories, but it was so good.
Yes.
And I felt so chic.
Yeah.
And it was just like, again, the
and
layers. But it was
so
still,
cute.
I mean, it was still hot in New York, so it's hard in Houston to do lots of layers when it's so hot. Like,
absolutely.
Thank God it's cold today, but it was 80 degrees.
I get to wear my boots for the first time. I'm so excited.
Okay, and now, like, these are fashion boots, even though they look like cowboy boots.
Yeah.
Are these YSL?
I love a Western. These are Paris, Texas. And they're comfortable.
Paris, Texas.
They're so comfortable. They're fun. But I mean, I took them to Aspen, never wore them, but I feel like you could do it over jeans.
Yes.
I mean,
but the hard thing about boots in the winter ski places that I want to mention, the bottoms. When you haven't worn them yet, they're slick. So make sure you're thinking about the rubber soles.
For sure.
Because I have made that mistake so many times.
Oh, yeah.
And the spiky heels.
Yes.
Now, like the Amina Muaddi's have that fat heel at the bottom that I think is so nice.
I love those.
Because it gets stuck when you're walking in cobblestone.
Totally.
In your ski place or in New York or Paris or something like that. I've seen that be an issue.
For sure. Like winter, I wouldn't take like a stiletto to like a ski town, right? Because it's just not practical and you're going to totally look like a, outsider. I don't know. For me, it's just not practical either. And I feel like you could totally dress up a cute flat boot. Probably why I didn't wear these in Aspen. It's the first time I wore them because, I mean, the bottoms, right? So, I wanted to, but I didn't. But definitely combat something with a little traction on the bottom. I love a good sneaker too for daytime.
Yes, so you were helping me put sneakers with my skirts, and I'm so glad that that's finally okay to do. Talk a little bit about that. I feel like if it's a straight skirt, I struggle with it, although a slip dress seems okay with a sneaker.
I feel like maxi or like something long.
Yes.
I feel like if you do a short skirt with a sneaker, it kind of gives me cheerleader vibes, but depending
although
on what,
sometimes we're all about the cheerleader vibe, the Dallas Cowboy.
Oh my God.
Well, the white boot, I guess, is more
2, 4, 6, 8.
Exactly.
Just kidding. But so it kind of depends on, I think, the length And the sneaker too is huge. Like, you know,
yeah, because there's the dad sneakers, and then the more refined Golden Goose, and then the Alexander McQueens, and then you've got the like padded bottom. So are you
that's
seeing
a clean sneaker, which I kind of like, the Alexander, and women say they're uber comfortable.
Yeah,
the McQueen.
I find that the McQueen, the tongue jams into
does it?
Your into whatever your ankle, but then in time it kind of softens. But they have some styles that have the softer tongue.
Okay.
What do you? I love my white Chanel's with the black piping,
but Chanel sneakers in general, like I like.
But I found that they yellow a little bit. Have you noticed that?
I'm OCD.
You clean it every time?
Like I clean before my housekeeper comes. I'm like, I'm kind of wild about that. But especially the white ones or cream ones. But I'm psycho when it comes to cleaning.
Well, and that's why I kind of like the Golden Goose, because they already look dirty.
Yes.
So that's very forgiving.
Sold.
Yeah. Exactly.
Sold.
I'll take that.
I know.
And they are a little bit more refined in the lines.
Yeah. Those are great travel shoes too, I think. Right?
Yeah,
like,
because they're lightweight also, and I feel like some of them are super heavy. Yeah. Like the Stella McCartney platform shoes.
You have like...
I actually sold them.
All of them. Good.
Yes, because I couldn't travel with them. They were so heavy.
Took up too much space,
and too much space.
Yeah.
And but I loved them for a period, and that's the other thing. So how do you know when to invest into something and when to buy the cheaper version?
Okay, so I'm all about classics. Like I feel like that's kind of my personal style as well. Like I'm not huge on trends, and if I'm going to invest in something trendy, I actually don't even know what I'm talking. I don't invest in trendy. I don't, because
so that's more your Zara or Target thing?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, for sure. Revolve, like kind of some, they're great price points. Zara, love.
And what about feathers? Do you feel like that's a trend, or do you feel like
feathers.
That's a classic? Because I'm kind of adopting it like it's a classic.
Oh, it's a classic. That and a lint brush and you're good. Just
I know.
Lipstick.
I had
on your way.
Some black feather thing I wore the other day. It's all over my closet. It's all over the office.
I'm all about feathers. I feel like it's fun, especially right now, this time of year, very festive.
Yes.
Right? I mean, who doesn't love a feather?
Okay, so we've got feather, we've got tinsel, we've got
I love
sequins,
tinsel, love tinsel, sequins,
leopard,
all of it. Leather.
Leather. I mean, so do you do leather and sequins? Like, how do you mix your textures?
Balance. Like, I feel like it's all about balancing it, right? Like, I'm kind of the type, I'm a little understated. Like, for me, I like a cleaner, polished versus like a lot. So I'm kind of the type that's like, take one thing off when you leave your house.
I'm like, add one
You're
more
like, weird.
thing.
Yeah.
Let me put another thing on. I can
How
find a
many
place
earlobes
for it.
Or how many holes do I have? Yeah.
When I go, Rob, is this too much? He's like, for the Contessa? Never.
Yeah. He's like, if you had to ask.
Exactly.
No, well, that's true, though. You pull it off very well, though. You do.
But
like,
there is a limit, like, where it's competing.
Yes.
And someone as short, like Danette and I talk about, like, this height thing and being curvy girls and what we can get away with.
Danette's like, what'd you call me? Just kidding.
I know. And, of course, we're all about pink and color and all that. So, but so the other thing, talking about layers, so I remember you helped me. I wore this white version. This is Hunter Bell.
Okay.
And I wore the white version underneath a black corset dress.
Yes. Yep.
In New York to the Polo Lounge.
Yep.
And I remember I was able to meet Nellie, who was she's the maitre d' there. And she remembered me or recognized me when I came in because it was so striking. And it was just black and white.
Yeah.
And I know so it was extra for this. And then I put that.
Yep.
And then I had the hat.
Yep.
And it was just so extra, but it wasn't really that extra.
Yeah, and the colors weren't. I mean, they were it was blacks and whites and gray. Like, I feel like that's less in your face. I feel like when colors come to play in print, that's when it can kind of get like
too much
confusing. Like Alice in Wonderland. But I do think that when it's kind of more, simple colors, simple, like wonderful pieces. And it's not like ruffles and,
so many
too
things.
Much. Yeah.
And I feel like if it's big on top, it needs to be straight on the bottom.
Yeah.
If it's skimpy on top, it needs to be longer on the bottom.
Yes.
Like to be skimpy and skimpy.
Yes.
Then you have to put like a jacket and cover your arms maybe. And then just show décolleté if you're going to show.
Absolutely.
Talk a little bit about that.
So like
how do you lead people?
Like if you're going to show like a little cleavage, like I'm not about showing legs and like, midriff. I'm kind of, like you said, it's kind of about balancing it, and it can be too much, and you do not want to give off the wrong impression. But I think that if you're showing one, kind of cover the other, and that's okay. Like it's still sexy, but I mean it's proportional to, and depending on the evening and where you're going or day. But yeah, I kind of am like, if you're going to wear a wide leg trouser that's high waisted and really, like got some like
volume.
Yeah. I would do something a little bit more simple on top, little fitted, like a bodysuit.
And how do you feel about corsets?
I love a corset. God, I love everything you're asking. Feathers,
I know.
corsets.
And then the corset with the voluptuous top and the voluminous, not voluptuous top.
I knew what you meant.
Underneath it. I just think it's so
And again, a corset with like a wide leg trouser that has a lot of volume. It's like very, it works. It kind of is all pulled together. I wouldn't do like a, big oversized sweater with a wide leg. I mean, you could if you're like 5'9" and and a heel. And two, I think a shoe too. Like if you're wearing a lot of volume and you're wearing a flat, it can kind of be, it can wear you, I think. So I kind of do think that depends on the shoe. Because you want to kind of add some height and length. Otherwise, you're
completely. And you aren't a big belt girl, and it looks great. And I want to wear a belt with everything.
Yeah.
So talk about that. What do you think that
you are a belt girl? Do you go to sleep? Like I could see you, like, Rob, are you going to take the belt off? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So talk about that. Are you finding your clients want belts or not? Because Bella doesn't want a belt anymore.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like the up to 30s don't want belts.
Yep.
Is that right?
I think, I think that's kind of true. And I know like a lot of people love the logo belts and those are huge. So I do have some that love that. I just, for some reason, I'm not, depending on, I don't know. I'm not a big belt girl, but like with a denim and a white t-shirt, I do kind of love like a fun belt, but, or like with dresses, I think sometimes like cinching the waist is great. But I feel like I have both. Some that love a belt, some that don't. It depends on what they're wearing and the belt. And sometimes a belt ties it all together, right? Like, and that's what your outfit needs.
Yes. And does the belt match the shoe, match the bag?
No, that's not necessary. I don't think.
Okay.
But unless it's from the vintage Contessa and it's Hermes and you need the, then yes.
No, but I find that I used to feel that, and that's like broken
like
now.
You want Valentino belt.
Okay, well that's the other thing. So I do feel like if I have one logo, I don't want another logo unless it's the same logo.
Yeah.
So if I have a big Valentino belt, I don't want to have
carry a Gucci bag
Dior
or something.
and have this and then have earrings that are this.
I kind of agree.
Be like logo that are different. But if it's all the same, then I'm okay.
You're
with
wearing
matching.
a look, then it's like a whole look. It's like a yeah. I kind of agree in that sense too. Like I'm not. And sometimes it's okay. Like if you're wearing a bag that doesn't, and it's, Valentino, and it doesn't necessarily say Valentino, and you're wearing a Gucci belt, I think that's okay.
Yes.
Totally okay. But I'm with you. Like I wouldn't do like an Hermes belt with like, a logoed handbag that's, Louis Vuitton or something,
I feel like it competes.
Yeah, and it's a lot, I think.
It's too much to see.
Too much. But if it's the same, I'm okay with it, because then it's like a whole, you're like, okay, it's a thing, so.
I know, I struggle. Okay, now let's talk about hardware. We said we were going to talk about.
Yes.
So yellow gold versus silver, and Hermes calls it palladium or white gold versus rose gold. What is your personal take on that and mixing, and does it have to go through to the shoes and the bag?
All tied. Okay. So like these are two-toned, which I kind of love because it makes that decision easy.
Sassy.
Right? But sometimes I do think like if you're wearing...
If you have some mixed. Today you're
definitely
mixing some. Yep. And I'm mixing some, mostly yellow right these days.
Like I do think sometimes like if your bag has a lot of hardware and it's a lot of silver, then I wouldn't necessarily do it with like a gold belt or gold earrings. You know, I feel like there's a fine line of balancing it, like mixing it, but I'm totally okay with mixing it. And I think you can always play with your jewelry if you want to wear something specific and the hardwares aren't really like, you know, cohesive. I feel like you can play with your jewelry in that sense to where it does kind of all tie together. You know, like kind of add some rose gold or, you know, some yellow gold if you're wearing, you know, to where you can do the silver and gold. Because that is hard. If you really have like a great bag that you want to wear and it goes perfect, but then you've got these new, you know, it's like, where is, you know,
so do you start the same place every time? Like, do you start with the bag or do you start with the outfit, or do you?
So I typically start with like the outfit, like a piece, like a staple, you know,
okay,
if that's what I'm, like a skirt.
Like today, did you start with the skirt or the boots?
I did. I started with the skirt. I haven't worn it yet. And I love the like two-tone, the denim. I know Danette was so sweet. I know. So fun.
Good.
And so I knew I wanted to probably wear this because I haven't got to wear it yet. And then I just went from there. So, yeah. But I'm more simple. Like, I'm kind of, you know, you always see me and I'm like, I have a uniform, I call it, like a white t-shirt, blazer, jeans, and then throw on like a good shoe and a bag, and I feel like you're golden.
Well, and the other night I saw you at a party and I was like, oh my God, introduce me to your bag. Who is she?
Zara.
And you said she is Zara, and I freaking love that.
Totally. Pair it with like Saint Laurent heels and you're like golden. Really, I feel like it's all about mixing. Because that bag, I mean, it does shed like a golden retriever, so there's that, you know?
Yeah,
like I wouldn't necessarily invest in something that's like, you know, I feel like that's kind of more fun, playful.
Yes.
I would buy kind of the more classic bags or, you know, a good pop of color, but I wouldn't necessarily buy that at, you know, Valentino, right?
So let's talk about bags, speaking of a pop of color.
Yeah.
So when you came to the party the other day, you loved the lime bag. Was it the color or the shape or the size?
Color and size.
So let's talk about that. So if you're buying a Kelly or Birkin, like a big investment, a lot of people walk in and want black.
Or the, like a tan, right?
Yeah,
or,
the E-taupe or the gold. Like, why would you want a colorful
Because I feel like that makes an outfit, right? Like, I mean, I would love, so I would want like the black and then the taupe and then the pop. But I feel like a lot of people would want that, right? Like, let's get the basics, the staples, which I do think you need to start with in your closet.
Okay, so
like
you're recommending
any bag in general, and you want to invest in a bag. For me, I would suggest having the two staples, a black, a taupe. You know, maybe a white is always kind of fun, and then you kind of start playing with the prints and the textures and the colors. But you want to have those staples, I think, just for every day, right? And it doesn't have to be designer. I mean, there's plenty of, you know, brands out there where you can get like a great black, you know, satchel or tote and you're good to go. But then once you have those, then start playing. But that bag, dear Santa, if you're watching,
I know,
I want it.
Santa.
Yes, it's so good. The blue was beautiful too. Your blue one,
the turquoise.
Oh my gosh,
it's really fabulous. And one has palladium hardware and one has gold. So are you seeing a trend towards more?
No, well, I will say I've seen a lot of silver. I feel like silver's made a huge moment lately. Yeah. Just in general, like accessories, earrings. I feel like.
And in clothes, yeah, like are you seeing
Bottega? Like I'm like they're like I feel like really loving the silver hardwares right now, like with the chocolate browns. Like you know. brown with silver, and like loving. But yeah, I don't necessarily like go towards a certain color or hardware. I kind of, do you? With bags?
No.
Yeah.
I'm open. Although last night I wore a gold jacket.
Okay.
And a black Norma Kamali basic just sheath dress. And I didn't want to change
shoulder one?
The one shoulder one. And I didn't want to change my tights, so they were basic. And I put gold shoes on it. It was too much with the gold jacket and gold shoes.
Yeah.
And the black heels with the gold strap were perfect, but because of my plantar's fasciitis, I knew I was going to stand for an hour and a half. So I ended up wearing low heel mock croc, actually Prada's from like 2000, that had a little bit of a metal silver, but it was gunmetal. It wasn't shiny.
Yes.
And I felt like that was okay.
Subdued.
And then I picked the bag, and I had my Chanel with gold was here at the office, and so I ended up, because I felt like I have to wear gold hardware because my jacket's gold.
Yeah. In that sense, I would stick with
and
that
all my jewelry was gold because my jacket was gold.
Yes. Yeah.
So if your jacket's silver, then you should probably do all that.
Yes. Unless you can mix, like if your jacket's silver and you're doing like golds and silvers, then I'm okay with it. But throw it in somewhere else to where it kind of all like, ties in,
And are you feeling like New Year's Eve this year is going to be sequin feather?
I'm normally asleep before midnight. Is that so terrible? I'm so bad. But
this year, I think
I'm all about it. Like feathers, sequins, do it. Like, because it's, once a year. So why not dress up? Even if it's a little house party, like throw on something festive. Even if it's like a sequin top and like you want to do like a denim on bottom to kind of, if it's like a more casual party,
Yes.
Kind of like bring it down a notch. But I'm all about it. Like,
And let's talk about denim, because you introduced me to, is it Mousy?
Yes. Love.
And I love that.
Like, live for those. Aren't they they give you a nice butt.
They do.
Not you you in general, but like life. Like, it's so, love Mousies.
They fit, and I feel like that's a great option.
Yeah.
But are you okay with a Zara jean?
I've never tried a Zara jean, and I know some like it. It depends on the body. Yep. I feel like it's hard for a shorter.
I've never worn a Zara.
I was going to say,
but Bella does.
Okay, does she like them?
She loves them.
Yeah,
and
I would honestly go to like
kinds.
If you want like kind of a more practical price point, I would honestly go to like Abercrombie.
Oh, okay. Yeah. They have great jeans.
Yeah, they do, and I hear Madewell has great jeans too.
Okay.
But Mousy for life for me, like love.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is there one jacket brand that you're particularly fond of?
I'm loving Wardrobe NYC. Their oversized blazers are really great.
And I feel like that's good for you. I don't know if an oversized would work on my frame.
No.
Okay.
You're a blazer girl, though.
I am. And I love a great Balmain.
Yes.
I have a few of those. Of course, Chanel and Gucci.
And then we throw in a few Zaras in there. Their colors are fun.
I bought 5 Zaras 3 years ago, and I put a Chanel pen, and I love them. Boom. I got like red and green and the odd colors, and then white, because I feel like you can only wear white so long and take it to the cleaners and it's spotted.
You have to, it's like a white t-shirt. Like you can only wear it 7-8 times, and then you probably have to invest in a new one, because it does kind of wear, especially if you're washing it or dry cleaning. It kind of wears the fabric. Even a higher end one, I think, too, kind of sometimes.
I like the ones with the shoulder pads. I feel like it gives me a little bit more volume, I guess.
Like you've been working out.
Grace Kelly, she's like had 30 treats, y'all. She keeps shaming Danette into giving her treats.
Grape jelly.
I tell Rob, you are not getting positive reinforcement for negative behavior. And look, we're doing it with Grace Kelly. That's what you hear her growling about in the background.
She's hungry.
She's starving. We don't feed her.
Oh, and Stella McCartney, I love her blazers fit really nicely.
Okay, I don't feel like I've worn Stella ready to wear.
Yes, fits like impeccably. The tailoring, I think, is beautiful. Okay. And I'm all about tailoring. Like,
you are.
I
a tailored girl. And tell me about the row, because I don't buy them.
I love the
they're
row.
expensive, and I'm not sure. And it doesn't show
that it's
the brand. Like Balmain, I love the button.
Totally.
The row, it's like so understated. What is it
Which
that makes it work? Then you can mix your brands.
Well, and it's so wonderful because it's a classic. Like if you wear a black trouser, like I love a black trouser. I invest in a row because it's something I wear often and I will wear for years. So something like that, I'm all about. A turtleneck, you don't need to spend, $1,400 on the row turtleneck. Personally, I don't think, so it kind of depends on what it is. I do love, like, they've got great trenches and great, like, jackets. But like a trouser, I love their trousers. And I feel like that's maybe why the price point is, and because it's the row, but the price point is
and
higher.
Tell them who the row is, in case they don't know.
The
Olsen twins.
Yes.
And they're truly incredible designers. They've been so accomplished for a number of years. And it's oddly hard to be profitable as a designer. And
they're killing it.
They're killing
it. Yeah.
So consistently good.
So yes, that answer, to answer your question, I think certain things from the row, maybe if you are a black, if a good pant, if you really wear like a cream pant often, or they've got like great leggings, I think are great too. So if you're a legging girl, invest in a good pair if you wear them often, because it's worth it. And the quality is,
Are you a Lulu girl, or do you prefer other
I love Alo. Yeah,
okay, good.
I love Alo.
I like their colors. I got the little tennis skirt.
Me too. Isn't it so cute? I know. I love Alo. And I love athleisure too. But yeah, but after COVID, I think we're all excited to dress.
I recommended that fabulous Balenciaga sweater to so many friends, and now Balenciaga made some bad choices. I actually just got a really good knit Balenciaga from Moda on sale, and I was so bummed because it was it fit so beautifully, and this happened, which I'm normally pretty it is what it, I'm not going political
to extremes. No, not really, because I feel but that was pretty bad.
It was.
I don't know if we're going there, but I was how many people approved that? Because it's such a huge brand.
That was the thing. There's no way it could have gone into print without layers of people seeing it. We all know that.
Top people saying that's okay.
It just was such and we have a lot of people trying to sell us that brand right now. And one woman the other day was like, I don't know what you're talking about. There's a lawsuit. We were like, oh, girl.
I know. Oh, girl. Yeah. Oh, girl is right. Yeah.
I know. So we're shocking. Just stepping back.
And it's unfortunate, too. Because
they're so on fire. They were.
I know. Speaking of killing it, they were. I know.
Isn't that interesting how something could change the path?
And I'm curious to see if this is going to blow over, or if this is at the end, canceled, or if it's, hot news for the moment. I think it's pretty grotesque, and I don't even have children, so it's it was raunchy, but
it was a tough thing to understand. And I've seen other ads, and there was a hot minute where I saw something with Dolce. There was a person sitting by the pool and these men standing over they were going to go after her, and I found it pretty offensive, and I posted something on social media, and I got a lot. This was 5 years ago, and I got through that with them because I feel like they transitioned from that.
Was she an adult though? Was she?
She was an adult.
Okay.
So it wasn't.
But it still
it triggered me in a way.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I was and then I let it go and moved through. But I'm kind of like you. I feel like there's some boundaries that are really tough to get through.
Well,
and
that hit
might
you
change.
too. So that triggered you for a reason, because kind of look like the guys are going to eat her for lunch, it sounds like. But
but then I I don't know. I do think that we as consumers are aware of the branding and what the designers are doing and what the intention is. Like, I've loved Gucci for so long.
Yes.
But I forget his name, and he's so incredible.
Yes.
And he just left. But then when he gave everybody like their matching head that they carried down the runway, I was like, that doesn't move me to want to buy your stuff.
And it's not interesting in like a cool, fascinating way. It's just like
Jared Leto's carrying his head. I know. Like, what?
It's
and I'm going to wear what he's...
Well, Jared Leto gets like, you know, they like dress him for life. So Jared's like, what do you want me to carry?
I'll carry my head. I'll do anything you
I'll
need.
cut my head off for you if you want, Gucci. But so he's probably like on board. But yeah, it was creepy. It was weird.
Yeah. But I feel like so much of brands are about the experience they take you on, and it's even more so than about the style you're buying.
Yeah.
And I think Chanel's done it in an incredible way for so long, so consistently. And we're seeing, like, for example, the double flap Chanel bag. I guess the biggest one is the Maxi Jumbo, the Maxi. And that one's like over 9,000.
Yeah.
And my first Birkin was 5,800. So it's like, you just look at it and that's the price of a watch.
It's wild.
So would you, like, how do you decide? Because thankfully, well, I have to tell this story too. The way I met you was through your man.
Yep.
And he came in to buy you something for Christmas. And I said, how long have y'all been together? I think it's time for a ring.
Yes.
And then we went through that. So, like, when it's time to get a big gift, like, I'm always, do I want a bag?
Oh,
do I want a piece of jewelry? Do I want a watch?
Christmas, I'm like, you go there. Like, you go big because it's, take advantage. If you're out there, like, take advantage of those opportunities to get the good, and investment pieces, right? Like,
yes.
Yeah.
So how do you decide
I'll never forget Eugene telling me, I was debating on, like, I think I was probably looking at a Birkin or something, and then I was like, or jewelry here at some holiday or birthday, and he's like, jewelry all the way. And so I'll never forget that. He's like, invest in the jewelry. And so I feel like that's kind of stuck with me a little bit. But I do think, so you were going to ask, I assume, like, how do you know what to invest in? Yeah.
Or how do you, like, when you're telling someone, like, what pieces, what do you think are the core pieces? We talked about, like, a pair of jeans and things in the wardrobe, like, from an aspect of, do you need a gold watch and a silver watch? Do you need a dress watch and a casual? Do you, like, talk about something?
If you want a gold and a silver, the vintage Contessa and Times Past.
Like, this is such a paid for commercial.
I'm just kidding. I'm not getting paid for this. Just kidding. But I mean, no, I mean, if you can and if you want and fortunate, sure. Like, why not have both? And if you're a watch person, go for it. But so for me, I'm like, I like the staples again. Like, I, get the bags in each color, have a few pops, then you want the watch, then you want a few nice bracelets, then I would say, like,
are you about the stack?
You're
not even stacking today.
You want
bracelets, right? But you do stack the necklaces.
You want the the studs, and then the necklace, like the tennis necklace, and so I would say, like, start with those and start crossing them off your list.
Because a tennis necklace, that was, and then we also have, what's the other name, Danette, when it's all the same?
Riviera.
The Riviera.
Yeah.
So when it's all the same around, all the same size, it's a Riviera. When it's tennis, it goes up and down. So the one in the middle is bigger. Like, did you have it yours set in yellow gold or white gold?
I don't know. You guys made it.
I think yours is in...
Do you remember? I don't know. It's big and beautiful. I do know that.
I think yours is white gold.
Okay.
But I think we have... And because most of the time we think that a white gold prong sets off a diamond in the best way. So it almost looks like it's all diamonds next to each other. Whereas when you put the yellow prong on it, then you see, and it becomes part of it.
Now I need the yellow gold.
Yeah. I love that.
I guess I know what I want for Christmas. Yes, Jesus. I guess not. I know it. Rob, add that to the list. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
And then how do you feel about like brands? Are you Rolex, Cartier, Patek Philippe, Audemars?
All of it. I love the Bulgari. I should have worn that. I do love that.
Did you get the snake?
I did. I know I did. I do. I love that. I know a lot of people don't love it, but I've always had my eye on it. So, yeah.
And for your wrist, I think it fits. We had another client in this morning trying it on.
Yeah.
And the one we have in stock is the silver one.
Yeah.
Which one is yours?
I got the silver, the double.
And yours is double, and some of them are just single.
Yeah, which I think is beautiful too. Probably more day to day. I think you could wear. I feel like it's a lot. And now it's kind of, I get scared to wear stuff, during the day. Especially for me if I'm going to the Galleria and whatnot. But I think a Rolex, you can't go wrong. I mean, Cartier, you can't go wrong.
And are you a Cartier love bracelet girl, or do you prefer other pieces?
I am. I mean, I still wear one, and I think I sold one here. I do. I think it's a nice classic piece. I never take it off. I probably should, just to have a little break for a moment. But I feel naked when I do. But yeah, I'm lucky enough to have, and I think a lot of people too, like really would love, and one day to have one. So I feel like really, you know what I mean? Like I feel like that's
it was something
a lot of girls and women out there love.
I didn't have my first one till 37. When I was with Rob.
Yeah.
So I mean, I waited, and it was a classic thing. And then, how do you feel about the nail bracelet?
Are they going up in price? The love bracelets
not know
in
that.
General?
We have not heard.
I know Rolexes and everything are like skyrocketing.
Everything else has gone up tremendously. And then we've looked at the new Tiffany ones that are coming out, and they're pretty interesting. But I think it's a while, and it's one of those that stays on forever.
Okay.
But it's a little bit easier to take. Well, I guess no. Theirs you can take off at night to sleep in, which was one of the selling points for them.
Yep.
But, okay, so let's talk about, are you a monogram luggage person? Would you wear an LV monogram bag?
Yes, I have, and from you guys. Yes, really though, I do. I love it.
Because I don't think of you as a monogram girl, but you carry the duffel.
I do. And not necessarily when I'm like, I do. It depends. Like if I need one last bag to like put like my toiletries and stuff in, then I definitely use that. But I've got like my packing down to a system. Like a lot of times I carry on, you'd be shocked. I know. Crazy.
That's impressive.
I know. Jonathan, I swear to God, he's like,
Rob is so.
Well, they travel so much.
You got to carry on. So it'll like save us an hour there and an hour home.
It's like so. I'm like, really? Yeah. But hey, it's okay because then it's a good excuse to shop. I do that all the time. Forgot my shoes or I forgot something, and you're like, well,
Well, I gotta go shopping.
Yes, because you made me pack 3 things, so there's that. But yes, I don't think you can go wrong with the Louis Vuitton duffels, right? I feel like it's just.
I love them.
Do you travel with those?
I travel when we're in the car with the duffels.
Okay.
And then on the plane, I bought another pull cart. And then actually, I got one of the Toomey big nylon that you put around it. And then I also add underneath that like a Goyard or an LV tote. And then inside that, I put a Birkin or Kelly. And then inside that, I have a small thing for going out. So then
You're the bag lady.
I am. I'm really.
And you don't check. I wouldn't check the loot, right?
I don't check.
Carry on.
Yeah. I have checked Louis before when I had to, but it's difficult.
Yeah. You tried to avoid it if at all possible.
But for Colorado, we leave our ski stuff there. But I did just buy a pair of moon boots because I love those huge, oversized.
Yes, you do.
Retro. I feel like it's so from a Slim Aaron's, 1980s, whatever.
I could see you rocking those. Are they furry?
They're not furry.
Okay.
I just got the big pink ones.
Okay.
So if you see me, and pink, girl,
if
you see me in the airport, I'm going to be like,
boom.
I'm going skiing.
Yes, in case you didn't know.
didn't know.
In case you didn't know, yeah. No, just going to Florida. Yeah.
Exactly.
Go to Miami. Go to Miami.
No, but it is true. So I have started looking at my wardrobe in that kind of way. So we get back from there, and then I'm going to New York the first weekend in January, and then I come home for 2 days, and then we go to Miami.
Okay.
So, like, because I photograph every day what I'm wearing, I think more about how I siphon it through.
Mixing it.
And how I mix it up. So I kind of know, like, what things I already have Colorado put together and New York.
You really do.
And I'm going by shoes and hats.
I
and
have
gloves.
never seen anyone work the way you work with, like, your schedule, your timing. I mean,
girl,
right? It is on another level. Like that, you could like start a business doing that for like for women. Because for me, like packing stresses me out. I don't do it till like the last minute.
You do it for other people with ease.
Yes, it's like
but
the
for
cobbler
yourself,
and the
it's
shoe.
hard.
What's the cobbler shoe story?
Yeah, that's why people are like, you're styling, but you have Kendra come help you. I'm like, yes, because I can't freaking
who
make
are
a
those
decision.
people asking?
Exactly.
Who are they?
I'm not telling.
Yes, she will when the camera's off. Yeah. That's funny. No, but it's like, well, and two, you see your things every day, so it's nice to have a new set of eyes, a fresh set to come in. And I'm sure if someone came into my closet and they put things together for me, I'd be like, that's wonderful. Like, I didn't think of, so yes. And I think everyone could honestly use that help, because we do again with me in the uniform. Like I sometimes just kind of go to like what I know I love and it's easy, especially if it's like I'm going to a client site, not dressing up. So I kind of just go for my usual. You
always look so cool.
Oh, thank you.
Like cool girl chic.
Thanks. Is it the turtleneck?
Well, I love it when you wear your little glasses. Those are cute, good too.
Yeah, you too. Yours are cute.
Yes. I feel like I'm Iris Apel. Someone told me today that I look like the woman from is it called the Impossibles or the what is their name? Yeah, she's got
they're so
the
cute.
big glasses with the voice. I don't know.
They're so
I don't know what I'm doing.
You did it.
Exactly.
You did it.
I did it.
You did
exactly. Okay, so to wrap up, like if women want, and I want people to know, shameless plug, you can come here and make your wish list, and we can help, from something that's $500 to $1,000. Like my thought for $500 is like an Hermes Click Clack or a great, one of these great silk scarf, because I like this.
And those are forever and classic. Like I think everyone needs at least one of those, because I mean, it definitely adds to an outfit, and it can make an outfit, right?
And I bring this on the plane to put over me when I'm cold, because I'm constantly cold on a plane.
Hey, well, your moon boots will keep you nice and warm.
Girl, I'm going to be, I could walk on the moon. Yes. I could do all sorts of things.
But no, I think that's a great classic piece or like the little Twillies stocking stuffer. You can't go wrong if you're trying to think of what to get your mom or your mother-in-law or your sister. I feel like the little Twillies and these are like a great, and who would not love. And I feel like each is like kind of, I mean, they're all different. So like a lot of times it can like really hit to someone's personality, or like, you know what I mean? Like really.
Yes. And you can
like
grab.
Horses, whatever it is, ballerinas. I feel like, a dancer.
Exactly.
It kind of can be a little bit more personal too.
And more meaningful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, men come in and they're like, I'm not sure. So would you say like a safe bet is a Chanel flat bag?
Yeah. I would say like, what is she into? Like what, but I would say Chanel can't go wrong.
Yes. Like, I feel like
my
no
first
matter
investment
what age.
bag was a Chanel. Actually, no, it was Gucci, and I got stolen in my car, and I was so mad. I spent all my graduation money on this bag, and
that was my first bag.
It was
a Gucci bag. My dad would bring it back from Italy when he went on buying trips, so that's what I loved. And then my first Chanel bag, I also got at 37 and wore it on our first date and lost it in Vail, and they found it 6 months later with my ID in it at a bar. Yeah, our first date was in a bar, and I might have been drinking a lot, which might have made him look cuter.
Yeah.
Altitude, alcohol leads to marriage for a long time.
And no Chanel bag.
No. And then it came back to me.
How though?
They found my ID in it. They took the money out.
Where was it for 6 months?
Thrown in the corner of some dark bar. And
that's a good human
isn't it?
Yeah.
I gave them $200.
That's
and
nice.
So I still have that.
That's nice.
But anyway, that was my first bag.
Yeah.
And I still have it and can still wear it.
It's an investment. It's a
Whereas Bella, even like young girls like it. And then I feel like my mom wears it.
And it's a sweet story too. Like,
it is. It has meaning.
Yeah, and timeless.
And how do you feel about YSL?
I'm loving YSL right now.
Dior.
Aren't you loving Saint Laurent? I really am. Like the clothing too is so beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm not a big logo, although I love the but that's not logo-y. Like I'm not, I don't love like, unless it's but I guess I can't say that because I love like the Louis luggage and I do have bags, but you know what I mean? Like if you're investing and you're buying, like a first, or if you're buying for someone, I don't know, I'm kind of more cleaner, but.
And then we talked about the tennis bracelets, the tennis necklace, a love bracelet, like all those are good classic things.
Oh my gosh, yes. I feel like a man can't walk in here and not find something, or a woman can't walk in here and not find something to, you know what I mean, to put on their Christmas list or buy or find for someone, right? I mean,
and then if you don't get what your man.
And I love the Chanel earrings. Like I mean, you know, I'm a clip-on girl. Like I mean, you kind of you have a little bit of, you have it all. Really.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. I'm about to shop.
Okay, good.
Yes.
All right. So any parting words, anything we didn't touch on from a style aspect? I think to me, the thing you said that was most meaningful is what you feel the best in.
Yes. Confidence, like for sure. Confidence, and wear what you're comfortable in and not what your best friend looks good in. Like wear what, really is true to you, and don't invest in trendy and tailoring. Big on tailoring to your body,
and having it altered to fit you better.
That's huge.
It makes a big difference.
It makes all the difference, I think.
That's the other big value that I get when you come to my closet. Is you're like, oh, this needs to have a half an inch off the sleeves, and you need to nip this in the back so it fits you better.
Yeah.
And it changes it from
absolutely
okay to oh my god,
that's why I haven't been wearing this, because I put it on
and I don't feel like it's right for me, and I can't figure out what was wrong.
Absolutely, yeah. And don't try and wear what your friend's wearing or pulling up. Like wear what you feel good in and what fits well, to your body, because everyone's shaped differently. Like you and I probably. If I wore what you, or vice versa, I feel like it would. We should do that one day. We should have actually dressed
Jeanette
as
and I did that last year.
Can we dress as that would be fun.
Was it our birthday we did that?
Halloween?
It was Halloween. I wore a pink wig and she wore, I don't know, my glasses or something.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah.
It was fun.
I love that.
I know. Jeanette, next time we need you to just sit here with us so we can talk to you. And Grace Kelly is not invited.
No.
She gets the Rude Award for talking.
She's so hungry. Great jelly. I don't blame you. Again, it's the season, guys. Let her eat.
I know.
January, new leaf. Okay.
Okay, we're gonna feed Grace Kelly in January.
This was fun.
See, it wasn't
I'm not as stressed, and probably have really red, but it's okay.
No, you're good.
Get that glow.
All right.
Yes.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. You could check out, how can they find you if they want to talk to you about styling?
Instagram, and I have a website at Kendra Ruth, and edits by Kendra.com.
Thanks, guys. Ciao.
Bye.